Hey guys, so forgive me for the somewhat dry patch in my release schedule. Look, I promise it's not without good reason. I'm currently working on 3 huge projects at the moment, and it's just eating giant chunks out of my time. I'm still working on wrapping up the 1 Hot Minute full length, and I begin the initial steps into making what will probably become the rise and fall of Green Day. Oh, and by the way, notice how and Rise and Fall of Green Day are 2 separate things? Look, let me reassure you, is not Rise and Fall of Green Day. Is actually a big secret project I've been working on since January in the background. I haven't told most of you about this. Look, you'll be seeing more talk about on social media, so look, let me just nip the first big rumor right in the bud. It's not Rise and Fall of Green Day. It's something different. So what is? Well, I'll put it like this. 1 Hot Minute is going to debut sometime on a weekend, probably this month. Probably on a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. I'll let you know a little bit beforehand. But when that day comes, clear your schedule. I mean it. Clear it out. Okay, but enough cryptic shit. On with the review. Oh dear, I was kinda dreading this one. See, I reviewed Of Mice and Men's last album, Restoring Force, on the show a few years back, and... Restoring Force? More like restoring snores. Hey? I wasn't exactly nice to it, but here's the thing, as time passed and I heard more of their stuff, I realized that maybe I was a touch too harsh on that album. Yeah, it was a touch generic feeling and it didn't do much to excite me, but I'm not exactly this album's core audience either, and I'm always saying we shouldn't smack down the younger bands just because they aren't writing the same music we all lost our virginities to. I don't want to be accused of being a cane waggler, so I went into this one with a much more open mind, ready and willing to review this album on its own terms with its own... Oh god, what, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I was supposed to be reviewing an album, not participating in a sleep study. Oh man, this thing was an absolute bore fest. These guys are a part of the second wave of nu metal, but my god, it seems like they barely learned anything from the first. The guitars and bass are all so dull as dishwater bland, and the vocalists aren't really doing anything terribly interesting either. I said I didn't want to be a cane waggler here, but guys, we did this shit better back in my day. Like Chevelle, for example. Hey, have you heard their new one? Holy shit, it's an unexpected treat. Chevelle, in their own kooky way, were kinda the Of Mice and Men of their time. Their first few albums had their moments, but overall they were mostly bland and forgettable. Even back when I was sporting a shitty haircut and way too much teenage angst, I could never terribly get excited over this band. I listened to the North Corridor mostly out of resigned boredom than any genuine interest, and holy shit, this band got crazy good behind all our backs. When the flying fuck did that happen? Long story short, to all my fellow Tool fans that are just aching for a hit of something until December comes out in 2078, this is a good little thing to tide you over. Loeffler's vocals and songwriting have improved drastically from the old days, and his style sounds a lot like earlier pre-Good Drugs Tool. Think Opiate and Undertow, with a more modern spin. It's not perfect, Pete's not great at soloing, and even though what they're doing is impressive for a trio, this is a band that's just aching for a lead guitarist. But I'd say it's like a 4 out of 5. It's worth trying on. It's sure as hell a lot more interesting than... Oh god, what the hell was I even talking about? Oh, yeah, Of Mice and Men. Ugh. I briefly mentioned in my last review that one of the vocalists sounded like they were doing an unflattering impression of Chester Bennington. Well, on this album, they both sound like they're doing it now. I could barely tell them apart. Guys, there's no reason to split vocal duties if you both sound like the same dipshit. And why are you guys aping Linkin Park anyway? Why not be new, creative, and original, like Fire from the Gods? Hey, now there's a band in this genre worth talking about. This one was suggested to me on Facebook as one of the second wave of nu metal's saving graces. Hell, I almost took that as a challenge. Given the absolute dreck that's come out of this genre, I was at the point where I was just begging it was a fad that would die out, but after hearing what these guys can do with it, I officially have hope for what second wave nu metal might sound like. Hell, it could top the first if it sounds this good. To all you younger peeps out there that are starting these kind of bands, pick up narrative and spin and study the hell out of it, because I want to hear more like this. I mean, this thing's barely a month old, and these guys are so small they don't even have a Wikipedia page yet, but if they can stay together, I have a damn funny feeling we will be talking about these guys in the next 2 to 3 years. Hell, they might even take Of Mice and Men's spot. They certainly deserve it. AJ Channer is an absolutely fucking astounding vocalist, MC, and lyricist. His delivery of singing, screaming, and even rapping vocals is both visceral and harmonious at the same time. He's Zach De La Roca via Tom Araya, and yes, that is as awesome as it sounds. The band isn't perfect, the rest of the group isn't exactly laying down Maiden for his backing track, but it's serviceable enough to keep the intensity strong, and it never distracts from the mood or tone of Channer's exquisite lyrics and vocals. I mean, seriously, don't let the whole "they're a rap rock group" thing bug you here. From ashes to new, this ain't. These guys are seriously a testament to the potential of their genre, and they deserve way, way more credit. Again, this is like a 4 out of 5, maybe even 4.5. Like I said, this album's been growing on me big time, unlike... Oh, right, I was reviewing this thing. Guys, look, this album just gave me fucking nothing to talk about. It's boring, it's mediocre, it's bland, it's unmemorable, it's other synonyms for boring. Just, it's not even bad in an angry reviewer way, OMG lol. It's just kinda there, and it kinda sucks. Whatever. I mentioned other bands in this review because all I could think of while writing was, God, why am I not listening to these guys instead? Cold World gets 2 of these guys out of 5.